Welcome to another day of Ether Raids. We're taking on Vander today, and we're just gonna, throw Ericka out here, let her do her Ericka thing. I was incidentally trying to, utilize the other Vantage unit that we have in the game, Brave Marth, and he doesn't do quite well in the current meta. His weapon effect is heavily reliant on blue status buffs. And this meta is like, I want to say ever since the introduction of Micaiah, sometime probably even before that, has been really, reliant or focused on debuffs.
Understood.
So mid-turn debuffs, start-of-turn debuffs, start-of-phase debuffs, it's just too much for you to really put together a Brave Marth team to really, function in the current meta. There's too many debuffs going around. Discord, sabotage everywhere. It's just he doesn't get the Vantage off because he needs that specific amount of units to have the blue buffs to actually make it work. And I feel like he's really a case of getting his refine too soon, because if they had waited a bit longer with him in specific, he probably would have gotten a way to get around or even reduce the amount of support needed to activate his Vantage effects. And it's really quite unfortunate because he still does, especially with like Zeta support, he still does a ton of damage with that special hit. And he's like, if you have him at plus 10, he's kind of tanky. He does fairly well in that regard. It's just that one of the main problems I had with him originally was that he wasn't taking out anything anymore. He needed both hits to get through a lot of the bulkier units that we had in the game at the time. Right around a little bit before Ike came out, he started to fall off a lot. He was doing fairly well with the Sanaki meta because he could still get the Vantage off kinda consistently, not too discrediting Hardy Bearing because of course it just doesn't work, but he could do it. But right around the time that Ike came out, units just got a little bit too bulky for him to manage, and he really fell off hard around that section there. I was testing him against Nurgle, and Nurgle was really the big one that I was like, all right, it's time for him to go, because he wasn't able to one-shot Nurgle consistently at all some of the times. But with the set of support now, he's able to do that. It's just there are too many debuffs. It's just not going to work in terms of keeping debuffs off of your support units. All of them would need to have blue buffs, and it's just without a ult to Freyr that is functional. There's just no way to use Marth. We need more units. Currently, there's just Saline and Micaiah, and to a lesser extent, Embla and Hearthvulgar, who can kind of do some amount of cleansing. But we need more units in that vein to really move forward and try to combat all of these debuffs, because it's getting a little bit outrageous in terms of just all of the debuffs that are going around. Even Bernie, I guess you could probably point out as another unit that is capable of doing some type of cleansing, but Brave Marth definitely would have benefited from that. And I guess just another one of those red god swords that suffer from the B skill not being in the game yet, that base their flat damage reduction off of their speed. That's really what they're all waiting on to be good again. But yeah, Brave Marth definitely fallen on hard times. I guess we're probably gonna have to give him some type of arcane sword when it comes out, because he is just not able to cut it currently. And at that point, is he even Brave Marth anymore? You're probably better off just using some other god sword that has a better stat spread, which I'm sure that you can find. But yeah, he's fallen on hard times. and it's kind of made me sad because I really wanted to see if I could find a way to use him, but it's just not working out. That aside, I've also been trying to figure out how I can fit the New Year's Tana onto a team and optimize it, and really I'm just falling down the line of some type of dual strike team with someone with pass, and it really would probably work best in Astra Anima season, I want to say,
I will try.
because of Barricade, there's not as much of that in Astra Anima season as, I mean, one would hope, as there is in Dark. So yeah, definitely Astra Anima season is probably where I want to end up placing her. The problem is the team composition. It feels like I'm just reusing the same units, and I don't like that. We need more units that can Gale Force aside from Tana, and I don't want, because automatically the idea is to just use her with Felix, because he's a, you know, he does, there's no other unit that does that disarm trap thing that he does, so that's pretty unique. But I was trying to come up with a blue unit that I could, you know, do the same thing with. None came to mind, and yeah, that's where the team kind of stalled in terms of just putting it together. And then ultimately it's pretty much just a melee team. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I don't really know. Melee Gale Force team, I don't really know if that's the best thing. And if you want to go ranged, then you have to bring Summer Golvig, because she's the one that has the most actions. There isn't another unit that's even close aside from Mythic Golvig. Maybe in a couple of months when the CYL refines come in, we'll see what Brave Golvig can do. I'm sure she'll probably put out more damage, which is pretty much mandatory at this point. But yeah, right now, not that great in terms of just, I need some inspiration to try to figure out what type of team composition to build around Tana, because I don't want to lose out on those extra actions, and you're going to need them if you're going to be Gale Forcing, building a Gale Force team with her, because essentially you're just going up there and you're not going to be retreating, unless you're going to do the thing where Tana sits in the back, which is actually insane. And then you just depend on your safety fence to do the work for you, which I am completely against. It is my number one most hated structure now, taking the place of Bolt Tower. Really did not need to be added to the game, and I'm waiting patiently for its downfall. But that's currently what my ideas are, what I'm thinking of. Yeah, I think I gotta play SDR as well. We'll see how that pans out. GG's. See you in the next one. Alright, hello. I didn't know where to put this, so I'm going to add it to this video since it's the first one for the day, and it kind of makes the most sense, I guess. So this is my SDR runs. My rank 1 surprise. Why did I do that voice? That was so stupid. Yeah, yeah. My rank 1 SDR run for the new year. I don't think it's gonna happen again anytime soon, but we got it. Here we go. Sita yet again bringing in the victory. She is so clutch. Although she didn't do all of the heavy lifting this time, I want to say a lot of the heavy lifting was done by Hearth Vulgar, who is, like I said before, man, she is very, very good. Alongside Neathogger here, fantastic support with Lucina. I heard apparently that this was some type of pasta, but I mean, it's the logical conclusion. Lucina has the best action economy in terms of between her and Baby Dual Robin. Sita here was my counter control unit. I didn't run the null follow-up because I was getting that from Lucina, although it did bite me in one of the matches, but we were still able to make it work. Really, overall, she performs better with null follow-up, of course. But yeah, it's the logical conclusion. You want to have this rearmed Lucina on your team with any of the most meta units, because the swap support that she offers is just so powerful. Dual Robin, Dual Baby Robin just pales in comparison. So if you want action economy, definitely go for this rearmed Lucina. I keep calling her rearmed Ninja Lucina. And then Hearth Vulgar here with Potent. I feel like this skill was made for her. I don't know why they didn't put it on her at release. I don't know why it's something you have to fodder to her, but potent on Hearthfelger, this one and the New Year's version. Best in slot beats go for both of them. They benefit so much from the 25 speed difference, I think it is. It really just helps them out with a ton with damage output. But yeah, SDR is such a dead game mode. It is so dead. Like, no one plays this game mode that seriously, I want to say, because as you can see here, a lot of the wins are against gold players or platinum players. I have never played this many gold players in a Summoner Duels run before. Even SDR, I want to say. It was taking me like 3 to 5 minutes to queue into a match, which is absolutely ridiculous. For the time of year, I was assuming that maybe, all of the Asian players were chilling, from like New Year's celebrations. They were kicking back and relaxing, but that just didn't make any sense because I'm pretty sure it was middle of the day for them. This Ather is absolutely terrifying, and I think he is currently the best Omni tank in the game, probably tied with Tamara. I could not do a single thing to any team that had this Ather, dual Ather, as a support unit or as an Omni tank or whatever the case may be. He is very, very good. He was able to outspeed Hearthfelger. I think probably if I had New Year's Hearthfelger, she probably would have been able to do something, but not with Sedith support, with Snag. Yeah, Sedith is just going to age phenomenally well. He is plus 14 to all stats, will never age badly. It is just really, really good. And then this team that he's on is just hyper optimized. There's so much fodder here, premium fodder at that really just not a lot of chance that I had to win against this one. And then this Micaiah here did something that was so surprising. I pretty much left my jaw on the floor. You're going to see it in a bit, but my god, with the Lin Ring, Micaiah did something fantastic. Again, she is optimized as well with the blue feud. But yeah, this team, very, very strong. I knew that I was going to lose the moment I saw Ather. I was like, there's no way I'm winning this. He's too powerful. None of my units are able to take him out, really. And my goal was ultimately to try to see if I could get Sedith off the board so that I could help myself in terms of the stat swings. But as long as Sedith is there, you're going to see something a little bit crazy in a second. Here, let me just show you the range real quick. This was, I wanted to reposition over there, but this wasn't possible. And you're going to see why in a second. One, because Ather is there, and two, Micaiah is going to do something particularly crazy. I did not know that a Micaiah could do that. Green Micaiah at that. I did not know that she would be able to do what she's about to do with the Lin Ring. You're going to see it in a second. I don't know, some of it probably from the ace skill, get extra true damage from there, but man, 102 102 into a red unit is literally insane. Not even any red unit. That is Neathhogger, one of the strongest Omni tanks in the game currently, strongest save in the game currently. And yeah, once they did that and they cleansed their debuffs, there's just no way that I was going to win at that stage, because that is a skill that can be refreshed. And they're just going to keep doing that. My only goal was to try to debuff them and attack, but once you can cleanse the debuffs, then, I mean, what are we even doing at that stage? We're just going to do the same cycle again. I'm going to try to avoid you, and it's pretty much GG's. I don't have a far save. It's a severe disadvantage against a team like this, so yep. First match, immediately an L after waiting 3 minutes to get into a match. But then from there, it actually turned around. This was one of those runs where I was like, well, much like every other SDR run, I was like, all right, let's just get one win and call it a day. We can try to figure it out the next time. But yeah, I got one win, and then I was like, this feels kind of good. Don't get me wrong, it's never like a great thing to be beaten on players that are like not as good as you, but at the same time, that winning feeling, man, you get that winning feeling, and it's kind of difficult to stop playing. It's kind of difficult to stop playing until you get all the way to where you need to get to, and that's pretty much what happened. Immediately here, the goal of this was to try to force Loki to stay at the bottom of the map so I didn't get hit with any of her Loki stuff. Ice Lock there, Lin Ring, interesting build on the Loki, but this is pretty straightforward win. All we needed to do was get rid of Hearthfelger. What am I saying? Neathhogger. Get rid of the enemy Neathhogger and we win. It's pretty much GG's from there because they won't have a save. This, no follow-up would have solved this because I wouldn't have gotten hit 4 times, but I didn't swap with Lucina there. Remember I said earlier that Sita needs no follow-up. If she had no follow-up there, should have been able to... Did she have this encounter? I don't think she had this encounter, so it probably wouldn't have mattered. Well, we wouldn't have gotten hit 4 times in a row. At least 2 hits would have done nothing. We would have been able to survive, and then there we go. Silicon Ring Neathhogger, really just no stopping it. Ather, I forgot to give a shout out, massive shout out to Ather here. Becky did her best to help me out. She was very, very, very good with the merges that I just got. She just kept coming home. I even got like 1 extra copy. She's up to +7 now as of recording if I do intend to merge. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet, but Mythic Neathhogger, Mythic Ather is very good, man. As a frontliner, she does wonderful. I was running Ignis on her, and she did really, really well for me this SDR. Plus with everything else that she did. Here is another instance of Alir, and yes, this is also another loss because there's just too much cleansing here. I'm never going to get any debuffs on this Alir team. You see the Ymir, which means additional miracle support plus the cleansing support. Ymir is just the it girl right now. She's so popular all of a sudden. She pretty much got a glow up. She went from ugly Becky to hot, sexy Veronica overnight. As soon as the Ling Ring became a thing, she got married, I want to say, I don't know, maybe. And now everyone's hot on her heels, and that's what we've been doing. I think I want to even throw it further back to Shield Fighter. That's really what brought her like back out of the barracks. But yeah, I couldn't do a single thing to this Alir. We were not losing the speed check, but we weren't winning it either, so that didn't put us in a good spot. And all that I could hope to do was debuff this team into the ground and hope that it meant something at some point. But again, dual button, more dual buttons than me, more action economy than me, and I was never going to be able to. And there you go. It's just cleansing the debuffs that I just put on. Like, what is even the point? It's like, nah, this is going nowhere. There's no point in me continuing. So let's get out of here. This is pointless. Insta ban if I could. I would have banned that team. But yeah, lots of gold players, man. So many gold players. 5-minute queue times. No one is playing SDR. It's such a dead game mode. And this was on Friday that I was playing, Friday night. Typically a busy time frame for SD, but yeah, no one playing this game mode. And it's if you're a gold player, I mean, try to get your win and get out. And that's pretty much what pretty much all I came across. It's also kind of common. I saw a lot of other Faytubers having a similar, I don't want to say problem, but it just wasn't the most competitive outing of SDR. Maybe most of the people that were in the top ranks played on Thursday, maybe, I want to say, or maybe they just didn't even bother to play. But this was the lowest participation that I've seen in a long while. Don't know what the numbers are, but it did seem I haven't had that long in the queue, that long of a wait time in the queue before. That's definitely memorable. But yeah, this was the other loss. Crom, potent. This is also a build that I'm considering. Man, 3 units: Crom, Brave, Hearthfelger, and Hearthfelger. Are the units that really make the most out of potent. Every other unit does nothing with it as a beast skill, but Crom and the Hearthfelgers really do take full advantage of the damage output from that skill. You could probably throw Sharena in there, but she misses so many kills because she just doesn't get enough true damage, so I probably wouldn't. But yeah, Chrom, Hearthfulger, and Hearthfulger get the most out of that skill, and you can see there he outsped me, or he got the double because of the potent attack, and if he didn't get the double, he would have automatically died to Sita. Chrom does not win against Sita without winning the speed check or getting some type of double off, and I had no follow-up active, so that is potent, giving him the additional follow-up. So yeah, from there it's pretty much GG's because they are 100% able to take out Nithauger. It would have been more of a game if I was able to, you know, take out their Bernadetta, which was the plan, but as you can see there, Miracle Bernie doing the job. That's GG's for me. No more game. Only one life left at that point. And I was thinking, man, this is probably not going to happen. But as you can see, gold players, diamond players, not a lot of heavy competition. And I was able to just close it out. I want to say Hearthfulger did the majority of the killing because she was just so mobile. With the Sigurd ring is very, very good. Very, very good. The Sigurd ring, I want to say, I don't know if it's like an SD thing. Maybe it's an Hearthfulger specific thing, but it is very good on her because of the fact that I'm swapping out her B slot for the potent. So to still be able to have the 3, Canto 3, even whether or not I swap with Lucina, I still get Canto, is very, very valuable. So big shout out to Sigurd Ring Hearthfulger. Don't know if it's an original idea. I just thought it was the most obvious idea. I did this back when I ran her on defense for Chaos Season. It just seemed like the most obvious combination. But yeah, if you haven't done it, give it a try. It definitely is 100% worth it. And then the last match here is Embla Bridal and then Lynn. And then I did mess up here because Rearm Lucina was in range of Hearthfulger and she got sniped unintentionally. I forgot to move her out of the way because of she got the Lorather effect. Canto control was the biggest problem on this team for the enemy team. But the goal here was to get rid of Embla as quickly as possible. It's not that Lynn is unable to take out Hearthfulger, it's more of the fact that if Embla hits me with the Embla thing, then it's going to make it very difficult to win the game. So there's too many debuffs to try to figure out. Between Embla and Tree Man, it would have been too much for me to try to get through. So immediately I go all the way. Well, they make a huge misplay, I want to say, by putting their Embla all the way up to the top there, allowing me to snipe the Embla, Bridal Embla, and from there on it's pretty much GG's because they don't really have any melee threats. The Lorather is a Farseid, which is a big mistake because it just means that Sita is going to demolish him. I have no range units really, all of my team is melee, so I'm just going to walk over him from this point forwards because bam. Miracle neutralization. It doesn't work if Hathorn is there, that's why I swapped her in. And from here we just walk through and demolish the opponent. So yeah, I want to say the team felt very strong. Essentially it's the same team that I had for SDS, except I had to get rid of Fjorm because Lynn was literally everywhere, and Lynn destroys Fjorm if you don't have Sedith to help her win the speed check. So what can you do? Nithauger is just a strict upgrade, I want to say. She's very, very good. Don't know how long it will last, but she is currently very, very good. And it makes me kind of feel bad for Fjord because she just came out, you know. She literally just came out. It's kind of the same thing that happened to Ascended Fjord. Fake fan. Where are the rest of the dragon flowers? But yeah, makes me feel bad for Ice Tribe Fjord because she's very, very good. And just getting demolished like that by Lynn is not great, you know? Whoa, jeez. So that's the thing. I think I've said this before, I feel like we're definitely gonna get some type of green far save. And also because I saw Edelgard in the what is it? that game mode, whenever you see a specific unit, Satoshi got rank 1. Okay, whenever you see a specific unit in that game mode, the quest one, I don't remember what it was. Typically, that unit is going to get an ult soon. So either Edelgard or I want to say the other guy with the sickle is going to get an ult. I feel it usually happens that way. So I'm going to keep an eye out for that. I feel like we're overdue for an Edelgard ult.